Everybody hates Pope. Everybody hates Pope. Everybody hates Pope. Everybody hates Pope.
This is an UNDEFEATED production.
Everybody hates Pope. Everybody hates Pope. Everybody hates Pope. Everybody hates Pope. Talking all facts, keep your egos. If you got receipts, brother, bring them to the show. When it come down to it, who to go? All you LeBron James fans, I want smoke. Everybody hates Pope. Everybody hates Pope. Everybody hates Pope. Everybody hates Pope. Talking all facts, keep your ego. If you got receipts, brother, bring them to the show. When it come down to it, who to go? All you LeBron James fans, I want smoke.
Yo, hey man, what's up, man? 11-0, Pittsburgh Steelers, baby. We 11-0. We got a lot to be happy and proud about, man. But this is another edition of Everybody Hates Poke Radio. Please take a moment of your time to like, share, and subscribe. Please comment, help build the channel up. But yo, we're gonna talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers, man, and this latest victory over the Baltimore Ravens. Me, myself, man, I was not impressed. I walk away from it with some criticisms. At the same time, though, grateful, though, right? We are 11-0. Like, it's so hard to, like, be sour when you're 11-0. You're undefeated. You're the only undefeated team in the NFL. A small part of me thinks that, man, we on our shit, man, and we could beat a football team in whatever way we want to beat a football team. But I do just have some concerns, man. We threw the ball 51 times today, man, for 266 yards and only one touchdown. That's very concerning. And I know a lot of you will say, well, there was a lot of drops and da-da-da-da. And there was a lot of drops, but there wasn't a lot of big play drops. There wasn't a lot of touchdown drops. There was a lot of short yardage drops. It's not like there was a lot of drops that would take those statistics up to 350 yards and 4 touchdowns, right? And if you throw the ball 51 times in a game, that should be the reward. You throw the ball 51 times in a game, the reward should be 350 to 400 yards and 2 to 4 to 5 touchdown passes. That should be the reward. Now remember, I told you, Ben is an elite game manager. An elite game manager. An elite game manager is a player that is a quarterback that is a game manager, but they can catch fire and they can play like a slinger. Like a slinger, right? They have those potentials. I don't put limitations on elite game managers. Troy Aikman was an elite game manager, but if Troy Aikman needed to, he would tear your ass up. To be honest with you, Tom Brady is an elite game manager. He just happens to be the most elite game manager that we've ever seen. Right? So, you know, when I say elite game manager, that's not. But I'll tell you this much though, after today's game, I'm just saying at this point in his career, I'm not so sure he's an elite game manager. At this point in his career. He looks like a game manager. All these short passes, all these dink and dunks. Nah, man. He doesn't even have the ability that he used to have, where it was just like, yo, I'll shrug you off. I'm going to improvise. I'm out of the pocket, deep ball. Ooh, that was so nasty, man. And you know how Ben used to do it. Right now in his career, he is 1, 2, 3 balls gone. Man, look, man, if that's the case, man, you can't be throwing the ball 51 times a game, man. I don't like our identity right now, but you know what? We are 11-0. Hitting on something else, the defense. I'm very concerned, man. Bud Dupree went down. right now, this is an elite not all time, but this is an elite dominant defense. Elite dominant defense. Bud Dupree going down though is a problem. I am praying, man, that maybe we can put Avery Williamson at outside linebacker. Does anybody know if Avery Williamson can play outside linebacker? That would be good to know. I'm not really ready to depend on the rookie Alonzo Hosman. With that being said, though, man, I'm gonna go ahead and take some calls, man. Let's get interactive with this shit, right? Let's get interactive with this.
Hello.
Yo, what's up, Mel?
What up?
Oh, man. Yo. Everybody say hello to Melvin. This is Mel Hall, big time ultra Raven fan. Everybody give a round of applause. Wrong button. What? Wrong button. There we go. Give a round of applause.
What up?
And your Ravens got rolled on today, bro.
Hey, you probably rolled on here. Hey, I know ain't nobody in Pittsburgh happy with that way, but let's talk about it.
Yo, we laughing at y'all up here in Pittsburgh, man. But you called me after this show, man. So as a Ravens fan, what you got to say, man? Go ahead and talk your talk, man. You got the microphone, man. Talk your talk, brother.
Hey, man, first of all, real proud of the Ravens, man. They overcame a lot of adversity to go out there. I'm watching the game, man, and I'm looking at numbers that people I never heard of, and they out there just playing their heart out, man. So big shout out to the Ravens. Big shout out to the Steelers giving us a good game. It was a typical Ravens Steelers game with a lot of starter pitchers. So I don't really have no sleep about the game, but when I'm more excited about this, the chance to do this, I can't wait. Playoff time. I'm confident the Ravens gonna get in by the early 10-10, and I'm confident they're gonna play the Steelers again, and I'm ready for it.
Why are you ready for it? For what?
I like what I saw today. I like the adjustment that the coaching staff made, even with the personnel they had. Man, you got to remember, Ben threw the ball 51 times. 51 times for 266 yards. That ain't good in no league, including high school. You don't throw the ball 51 times and end up with 266 yards at a touchdown, especially against a team practice squad.
Okay. Yeah, I give you that, man. I also would say I tip my cap to the Ravens, man. You guys showed up and played a good ball game. However, this whole entire COVID situation only benefited y'all. It didn't benefit us at all.
How did it benefit us? We don't want to play with a depleted roster, not y'all. And hold on, before you say anything, that's our fault. We played with a depleted roster. That was our fault. We didn't follow the protocols needed. The coaching staff didn't follow the protocols needed. But the NFL had to do what the NFL had to do. I welcome and open that conversation. But I kind of understand why the NFL did what they had to do.
Well, okay. So I'll tell you this much. Although your roster was depleted, we did lose Marquise Pouncey. We played without Tuitt.
Big loss.
Yeah, that's a big loss, especially on the day before. You know, we did play without Tuitt. So we had our issues as well. We played without James Conner. But the other end of the spectrum is we were a football team that was playing on Thanksgiving. So we kind of lost our rhythm. We kind of lost our mojo and things of that nature. But when it comes to the Steelers versus the Ravens, I think it's safe to say that we're always going to show up and we're always going to battle each other, right?
Yeah, and I don't disagree with that. But you got to remember, it's probably about 20 players out there that don't understand the rivalry because they practice squad members. So we activated 10 practice squad members today. We had about 3 to 4 free agents we signed. So the guys that was out there don't really understand the rivalry. Now, what I do agree with you at is the players that understood the rivalry came out there and played balls out today, man. It was an impressive performance. I really believe, and I get to some more of the specifics of the game, if we would have changed our quarterback out earlier and gave us and stopped being so one-dimensional, that we could have even won this game. We were so one-dimensional, but our defense played lights out. The running game was on point with a depleted offensive line, put together offensive line with no continuity whatsoever. And yet, we was able to get off, and I don't know the exact number. I would try to rush to Google it now, but I don't want to try to get it caught. But I feel it was over 150-yard rushing.
So, let me get this right. Are you saying that you feel good about your Ravens?
I feel great. I felt great before going into the game. I felt great. I mean, I even felt great after our 4 losses. I don't. Me and you talk off the air as well. Mm-hmm. I have been telling you that the adversity that we experiencing now, we did not have the opportunity to experience last year because of the winning that we was doing. I think that's going to end up being the Steelers' problem in the long run. This adversity is needed when playoff football comes. Like I said, I'm almost assured. I don't know it. It's nothing to say that I'm going to be in the playoff right now. But if we get in the playoff, we'll be in a better position this year than we was last year, even at 14-2.
Okay, let me say this, and I'm gonna give you the last word, man. I'm gonna move on to the next caller. But I don't think that's going to be the Steelers' problem, because what people are really overlooking is the Steelers and how they have handled COVID-19 in this COVID season and how we have overcome a lot of problems. The fact that we had our bye week in week 3, people just don't even care about that. People just look at that like that's nothing. That is a severe blow, and we just handled.
You just got to know.
And we just handled that, right? The fact that, and I'm gonna get to that in a second, but the fact that we had to expect to play on Thanksgiving, and then it get pushed back only for you guys to get healthier, and then on top of that we lose James.
Wait, we get healthier. Let me ask you a question, because you said what players that was originally on our list that played today? No one that was put on our COVID-19 list played today. From the game after Tennessee to now, not one play.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I misspoke, but at least from a game preparation standpoint, how about that?
We didn't practice. We didn't practice for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but you have virtual meetings.
We had a walkthrough Monday and a walkthrough before the game today.
You have virtual meetings.
Okay,
also on top of that, hold on, brother. Like let's not interrupt each other, because I'm gonna give you the last word. But you have the opportunity to prepare for the game, right? You have more time to prepare for the game. And I would like to mention that the Baltimore Ravens, you guys had an excellent game plan, it seems as though. But we're dealing with this stuff, and then out of dealing with it, a game that we could have played on Thanksgiving, we ended up losing Marquise Pouncey, we ended up losing James Carter, we ended up losing Stephon Tuitt. Those are 3 studs. 3 studs. And it's not to say that you guys had it worse than us, but this is on your own doing. As far as we go, as far as we feel like, we're the victims of all of this. So we're dealing with all of this. We're dealing with the fact that we were playing Tennessee, and of no fault of our own, we lost our bye week. We were playing the Baltimore Ravens, and of no fault of our own, we lost the Thanksgiving game, and we had to play without 3 key players. That's how we're looking at it. And then we just lost Bud Dupree, and we don't have a bye week. Oh, and on top of all of that, because of this game, because just to play you guys, we got to play 3 games in 12 days. Who in the world? When does that ever happen? An NFL team playing 3 games in 12 days, and we don't have a bye week. We don't have a bye week. So we did. The NFL did us no favors at all. So when you say that's going to be the downfall of the Steelers are dealing with a world of adversity. A world of adversity. We got to play 3 games in 12 days, and you got the nerve to say that we're going to suffer from no adversity? Brother, you out of your mind, man. But with that being said, we are 11-0. We've overcome everything. We just saw the LA Raiders get beat 40-6, 43-6 by 3-17. This is the NFL. You can lose on any week. You can lose to any team despite their record. And we're 11-0. And you're sitting here right now telling me that we're going to suffer because we haven't experienced any adversity. See, up here in Pittsburgh, man, that's offensive, man. But I'm going to give you the last word, brother. Go ahead and speak your piece.
All right, first of all, big up, prayers up for Bud Dupree. I'm not a Steelers fan. I'm not a fan of a lot of Steelers players. And the sad part to say is I am a fan of Bud Dupree, FFC alumni. I love me some Bud Dupree. I'm praying that the initial results are not true. But if it is, I pray for a bigger comeback for him. Second of all, you said you lost 3 studs. We had about 10 to 15 studs lost. You said that y'all had lack of preparation or adversity because of you thought you were playing the Thanksgiving. We haven't practiced since the walkthrough early Monday morning after the Tennessee game. You are totally correct. And the Ravens deserve what they got today. The Ravens deserve to go out there without their starters. The Ravens deserve to go out there with a depleted roster because the Ravens didn't follow protocol. But I'm going to use my last word to try to explain to the fans, to anybody that don't understand, how did we end up in this situation? The coach of the Ravens decided to do his own thing. Might have been a Trump supporter or whatever. They did not believe that COVID is real. He had all the symptoms of COVID, wouldn't wear a mask, and the team, this is where the Ravens are implicit at. The team did not enforce the rules appropriately. So we're going to pay for that. Not only did we pay for it tonight, we're going to pay for it in the future with a draft pick, lost some money, or whatever. But don't blame us on the players. Don't blame us on the players that only trusting their coaching staff, only doing what they're taught to do from the high school trusting coaches. They did what they're supposed to do. No player brought this in the field. And at the end of the day, the ones who came in and showed up today, they played football from the bottom of their heart. Win, lose, or draw, playoffs, no playoffs. All you ask of men is to do your job. And they did their job today. And it was not good enough. But I'm not giving the Pittsburgh Steelers no sympathy. If you want another bag, you just got one. You ain't played the game in 10 days just like we ain't played the game in 10 days. So I'm not giving you no sympathy. What's going to end up happening is you have to win games in the playoffs. You have not shown the pedigree. You now have shown the fortitude to win a game against a team that matters, that a team that practices, that a team that have an awesome game plan. You can't ask your quarterback, a future legend, future Hall of not a legend, he's going to be a future Hall of Fame, to throw the ball 51 times against a practice squad team and come up here and tell me what all you've been through. So with my last word, I'm going to use this. I promise you, I ain't going to promise you, I guarantee you that we will see y'all again. We will see y'all in the playoffs.
All right, brother. Well, I
can't wait.
don't doubt that. I don't doubt that, man. I thank you for coming on the show, man. And we're gonna be in touch again, man. I love the spirit, man. I love the spirit, bro.
Good night, man. Good talking to you. Always good to come on here about the 8 folks.
My man, I'm gonna holler at you, dog.
All right.
Peace. You know, Melvin hit on some really good points. You know, he said some good things, man. I mean, listen, man, when it comes to the Ravens, I kind of hate the Ravens, but I really respect the Ravens. I really respect the Ravens. And to come in here and pull out a 19-14 loss and to show up and make it a very respectable game, I got to tip my hat to that. However, I personally believe that this was a good game because we was just off and we didn't play well and Ben wasn't on point. And that's how I see it, man. But shout out to the Ravens fans, you know what I mean? The Ravens have earned my respect. I hate them, but I respect them as little brother. Let's see if we can get anybody else on the line. Let's call a Steeler fan up. Let's call a Steeler fan.
Hello.
Yo, E, what's up, man?
Man, what's going on?
Ain't nothing, brother. Ain't nothing, man. Hey, man, I'm letting you know right now, man. You on the show, man. You on Everybody Hates Folk, bro.
What?
You are on the show. Everybody Hates Pope. You on the show, bro. I called you up to talk Steeler football.
That's wild. Thank you for that.
Yeah, man. I
thought it was an emergency.
Emergency?
Yeah, I thought something
What's up, man?
was going down. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Sorry about that. There's an echo. There was an echo with my earbud.
There's going to be. Listen, man. What's your thoughts, man? What's your thoughts on the game, man?
Like most people in the city, I didn't get to watch it all because I was working at 3:40. So, I got to see the last quarter of the game in its entirety. My major concern is the loss of Bud Dupree. I'm hoping that the rookie can step up and do well. He's done well in spots, but the lights are going to be bright. The last few games, to get us to the Super Bowl. So we'll see how he does.
So let me ask you this: Avery Williamson, I'm a big fan of him. I know he plays middle linebacker. Can he play outside linebacker?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't hear you.
So Avery Williamson, the newest linebacker that we signed from the New York Jets. I'm a fan of his, but he's an inside linebacker. My question to you is, can he play outside linebacker?
I don't think he has the size to do that. 'Cause you got to remember, an outside linebacker in the 3-4 is really a speedy defensive end. We like him to be in the 6'4", 250 range and be able to run. So I mean that's a tough bill, to be. Coming from being a Mike linebacker to being an outside linebacker in the 3-4.
Okay. All right. So I got another question for you, man. This has been a major concern of mine. Ben Roethlisberger today threw the ball 51 times, and we got 266 yards from it and 1 touchdown. Do you have any concerns with the identity of our offense and how Ben is playing?
I have less concern about how Ben is playing because even though he's thrown the ball 50 times in an excellent rhythm, my greater concern is the fact that they don't have balance, and you can't run the ball when you need to. And you and I have had this conversation several times.
about in the last 7 minutes of the game, you need to be able to run the ball and close it out. And they haven't shown to be able to do that consistently. And I can't see how you can win a championship that way. We've also talked about, and I'll say it, being a guy who came from where we came from playing football, when you throw the ball, there are 3 things that can happen, and two of the outcomes are bad. So when you have to secure the game, you have to be able to, win ugly. You have to be able to win in the trenches and run the ball and close it out.
Do you have confidence that we can do that?
No. I just said that. I mean, you cannot win a championship if you cannot close games out in the last, 7 minutes of the game running the ball. That floater that was thrown to James Washington is usually a Ben disaster throw.
Yes.
James Washington bailed him out today.
So now I'm happy you mentioned James Washington. I put on Facebook today, and I want your opinion on this. Deontay Johnson seems to be a superstar, or at least a star in the making. But I said this last year. I've never seen a rookie get such a pass for ball insecurity as he did. And it was out of necessity. It was just out of necessity. Antonio Brown was gone. We didn't have the receivers that we needed. But even this year, he's brought this into this year. And I look at this kid, and I look at him, and I say, the drop passes, the fumbles, I cannot take it anymore. I believe that James Washington should take his spot, and Deontay Johnson should go to the bench. What do you think about that?
That is a tough one. Yes, the ball security is an issue. I think that, like Ben said today in the press conference at the end of the game, I mean, James Washington needs a larger sample size, because you remember that his rookie year, he just was not reliable at all. Wide open drops. The combat catches weren't there. But whatever he has done this past year, I mean, I think he feels the competition in the room. I think that the room is great as a whole, and that's made him better. I think that, he does need to see the field more. Let's see a greater sample size of that kid as he begins to secure, his position and who he is with the team. It's tough because, I mean, they do different things. You agree?
Yes. I feel like Deontay is...
so it's hard to swap out one for the other. I mean, it's, because they do different things.
But I honestly think that James could play that role. I really do.
See, to me, James is more comparable to Juju than he is to Deontay.
I get it. I understand what you're saying. Body type as far as physicality and stuff like that. Deontay comes across.
Yeah, the skill sets are different. I think vertically they're equal. I think if you're running vertical routes, they're the same.
Okay, well, if they're the same vertical, I will sacrifice Deontay's elusiveness and his agility for ball security.
And I agree. I think Ben would too. I think that, when they looked at Deontay Johnson, they brought him in because skill set wise, he's a poor man's Antonio Brown with what he does.
Yes.
But, Ben forced the ball to Antonio Brown. It's not like it wasn't like, Ben placed a major premium on the Antonio Brown skill set, because anytime he could find another receiver to go to, he was looking for that guy.
I don't know. I'm just looking at Deontay, man. He frustrates the hell out of me because I see the potential. I know that this.
I agree too. He frustrates me as well. But those two pieces aren't the interchangeable pieces. Like Washington and Deontay Johnson aren't interchangeable. They don't do the same thing.
Okay.
So if you bench Deontay, you're losing something.
What? What are we losing?
you're losing the ability. Losing that run after the catch capability. You're losing the swing passes. You're losing a lot of that. That's not how they use James Washington. He's never been used like that.
I'm okay with that.
You are. I understand.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
but
okay with that.
look at this as well. I mean, you don't have a running game.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, they're using intermediate passes as their running game.
Do you have a problem with that? Because I do.
I absolutely do. But until they prove they can run the ball effectively, that's what you got.
I'm happy you brought that up.
You know, and some of that is an old New England Patriots formula. You know, New England's never had a dominant running game in their run.
Mm-hmm.
The last dominant running back that New England's ever had was Corey Dillon. And they beat everyone with the intermediate pass game, you know, keeping the ball in bounds, chewing up clock and getting garbage first down the stretch.
Well, let me say this, and I definitely want your opinion on this. I'll give you the last word. I'm not a big fan of adopting the old New England style because the elephant in the room and the biggest issue is we don't have Tom Brady. And you know, as much as we acknowledge that Ben is a Hall of Famer and Ben is this and Ben is that, Ben has never been Tom Brady. And it just doesn't, even though he's doing what Tom Brady used to do, I just can't imagine a game where Tom Brady throws the ball 51 times and comes away with 266 yards and 1 touchdown. If you really think about it, like when Tom Brady was in New England, if he came away, right, with 266 yards and 1 touchdown, that was a loss, period. You just beat the Patriots. That's not the case with Pittsburgh because we got this defense. So I'm not a fan of copying the New England Patriots with Ben. What do you think?
I don't know if they're copying it. They're using what's available to them, you know, for now. And it's working. Nobody stopped it.
11-0, baby.
11-0.
My man. Well, man, hey, man, I appreciate you taking the phone call, man. I know I didn't tell you that, you know, you would be on the show, man, because I'm just calling people right now, man. But I appreciate you coming on and throwing some knowledge, man. And, you know, we 11-0, baby. Let's get it.
11-0. Thanks a lot. You know, next time I'll have notes. And actually watch the whole game.
Well, you did great,
so, man. Have a great.
You did great, and I wasn't trying to debate, man. I just wanted you to put some knowledge on it, put your spin on it. That's all.
My man, have a great rest of your show.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
All right, man.
Yep. Man, just got the news, man. First of all, give it up for E. Moye, man. Stud defensive end, tight end. Played at Beaver. You know what I mean? This is a guy that I came up with, man. Went to Robert Morris, did his thing, got a national championship at Robert Morris. Give it up for E. Moye, man. Give it up. Show some love. Man, so I'm looking at this, man. It says Steelers. Bud Dupree. Torn ACL, man. Torn ACL. Damn. This ain't good, man. Then we got to play 3 games in 12 days. This is not good. Let's see if we can get our man Banks on the line, man. I don't know if he's ready for the phone call or not, but let's see if Banks is on the line. This dude talks a lot, so get ready. All right, Banks ain't ready. So, last call, we're going to see about my man G. Straight up and down Steeler hater. Straight up and down Steeler hater. Raiders fan and a Steeler hater. Let's see what he's talking about.
Yo, what's up? What's good? What's good, brother?
What's up, G? What's up, man? Hey, man, listen, I'm just letting you know, man, you on the show, man. I'm calling through people. You on the show, bro.
Oh, good deal, man. Good deal.
Yeah. Listen, man, what was that text that I got from you? Like, what are you saying, man? There's a Steeler fan that wants to talk to me and be on the show?
Yeah, my big homie, D Nice. He wanted to chime in. He excited about the win.
Okay, well, maybe I'll end with him. I'll give him a call and see what he's talking about.
Good, cool.
Hey, man, but first I wanted to give you a call, man. I just wanted to, get your input on this, man. I see that you put on Facebook that the Steelers are the most unimpressive, undefeated team that you've ever seen. Those some harsh words, man. Those some harsh words. Go ahead and elaborate, man. Go ahead and go in, man. Tell us what's up, bro.
Well, I mean, I didn't have a dog in the fight. Actually, yes, I did. I actually was rooting for the Steelers because I'm a Raider fan, and I need at this time to get in the playoffs, and that's really speaking.
Okay.
But what I witnessed tonight, I studied good. I studied hard. I witnessed if you take away that bad play, that terrible play, the terrible decision from RG3 and Joe Hayden pick six. I'm sorry to say we have a Ravens win with nine starters out.
Okay, fair enough, man. But think about what you're saying, man. You want to take away a pick six. Like, how do you just take away a pick six?
Oh, no. You won the game. You played good enough to win. But with nine starters out, it's kind of disturbing. It's kind of disturbing to be excited about this win. And that goes back to what I say. This is the most unimpressive, undefeated team that I ever saw.
Okay, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to give you the last word. It's important to note that we were down a lot of starters too. We were down Stephon Tuitt. We were down James Conner. We were down Marquise Pouncey at the last moment. But on top of all of that, from a mental perspective, the Steelers have been through it, man. This is a team that thought they was going to be playing on Thursday night, on Thanksgiving. Okay, game got canceled twice. That really only benefited the Ravens from a preparation standpoint. On top of all of that, man, I will tell you this, and this is just my opinion, and you can take it home. If the Steelers can finish undefeated, I'm not sure we will because it gets rough, and because of all of this, we got to play 3 games in 12 days. If the same exact thing was happening to your Raiders, you'd be crying foul. But if the Steelers could finish undefeated, this would be the most impressive season ever because of what we've had to deal with. Now, we just lost Bud Dupree, torn ACL. We do not have a bye week. We lost our bye week. And people just act like that doesn't mean anything. So when you look at the Steelers and you say that they're so unimpressive, listen, man, when you're undefeated in this COVID season, that's impressive in itself. Because everybody is having to go off the fly. Everybody is having to adjust to crazy situations. So,
right.
So just being undefeated alone is very important. And for a Raiders fan to not be impressed about how we're winning or how much we're winning by when you just got waxed 43-6 by a 3-17 without Julio Jones and Gurley, you got a whole lot of nerves. So with that, I'm gonna give you the last word, my brother.
That was a very ugly loss. That was a very, very ugly loss. But today is Wednesday, and
I'm moving on to the Jets. I'm moving on to the Jets with that one. I can't go back. I can't go back and dwell on that because I got big plans ahead. We got big plans ahead. We plan on making the playoffs and doing some damage in the playoffs. So ain't no way I can sit back here continuously discussing the Falcons game. It was ugly. It wasn't nothing pretty about it.
My man. Well, hey, man, you know what I mean? That's all I wanted to say, man. I'm gonna say this, and I'll give you another last word. But you know what, man? I'm encouraged with the Steelers, man. I do not like our identity. I don't like how we're winning games. I don't like the fact that we've sold out to Ben. I don't like the fact that Ben just threw the ball 51 times and for only 266 yards and 1 touchdown, which further validates what I've always been saying. Not always been saying, but what I've been saying about him this year, in which he's a game manager. He is no longer an elite superstar quarterback, but he is an elite game manager. And I'm not a big fan of throwing the ball 51 times with an elite game manager. However, I think our defense is so good that we can actually get away with it. And that is the actual secret to our sauce. The secret to the Steelers sauce is our defense, man. Our defense is sickening.
Well, my takeaway from that, we are finally agreeing on something that you are not so impressed with your undefeated team as well. But that defense is okay, but I don't think it's what it was last year. I think you have to score 30 points to beat the Chiefs. I don't think that offense that I watched tonight can do that. I don't think they can put up 30 points on the Chiefs. I don't think the defense can stop the Chiefs from scoring 30 points. I don't think they that good. So, like I said, man, things to change. You can find a way to get healthier. You can find a way to get better. I don't see how you're gonna do that with losing Dupree. You got concerns, man. But hey, no doubt, it is great to be 11-0. That is beautiful. But you got to look at the schedule and you got to know that you beat a lot of bad teams. And the few things you did that were tough teams. You actually you had great time to prepare and you made some of it. So just don't get too excited, man, because once the playoffs start, you're gonna have a tough opponent every week. So don't get too excited. And hey, one of those tough opponents might be the Oakland Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders. And I don't think your defense can stop the Las Vegas Raiders from putting up 30 points.
Hey, man. You got the crowd going today, brother. You got the crowd going. Hey, man, thanks for coming on the show, man. I'm going to holler at you, dog.
It's on, man. Y'all have a good one.
All right, peace, bro.
Peace.
Hey, yo, man. My man Banks, y'all want to talk to Banks, man? Nah, we gotta wrap it up. We already at the 40-minute mark, man. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, man, this is the situation, man. The Steelers, man, we're 11-0. I think it's gonna be hard to beat the Steelers, man, because this defense is just up to the challenge. Dupree, though, I don't know how I really don't. So now we're down Bush and Dupree. That's gonna hurt, man. We're gonna feel that one right there. Let's see what Alonzo Highsmith got, though. You know what I mean? Because Spillane stepped in and played good football. But at the end of the day, we're 11-0. And even though I have my complaints, and even though I say this and I say that, I'm a Steelers fan. And I just want to bring one thing. I just want to say one thing to you guys. When I talk about Steelers football, man, it's 100, man. It's 100. There is no bias in it at all. I might be wrong. I might be dead wrong. But, man, this is just how I see it, man. Please take a second and like, share, and subscribe. Please take a second and like, share, and subscribe. We're going to go ahead and end it with that, man. That's been a show, man. Steelers are 11-0, y'all. 11-0, you heard?
This is an NB13 production.
Everybody